Late at night, when the world goes quiet in that heavy, breathless way, radios begin to remember things they shouldn't. I didn't know that until the winter I moved into the slanted house at the very end of Sycamore Lane. It looked abandoned from the outside, like it was leaning away from something only it could see. Inside, it felt like a throat cleared decades ago and never used again. I found the radio in the attic on my first night. A wooden box with a cracked speaker cloth and a dial fogged from age. When I plugged it in, it made a sound like someone waking up reluctantly. I kept it on for company, letting the low hum fill the empty rooms while I unpacked. The first night it spoke, it didn't use words. The static shifted, pulling itself into a shape that felt intentional. A faint murmur hid beneath the hiss, slow and rhythmic, as if something on the other end was practicing how to breathe. I leaned closer, thinking it was just interference, but the sound sharpened the moment my face neared the speaker. It was waiting for me. Eventually, the radio whispered a name. Not my name, the one people know, but the name my grandmother used only once, when she thought I was asleep. A name tied to a story she refused to finish. That night, hearing it echo from the static, I felt every hair on my arms rise like someone brushing past in the dark. I tried to get rid of it. I unplugged it. I moved it to the far corner of the house. I even set it in the bathtub, half expecting water to silence it. But when I turned the faucet, the radio crackled to life again, speaking through the rushing water like it had found a new throat. It described the layout of the house in detail I had never noticed. The chipped tile beneath the kitchen table, the 3 nails sticking out behind the bedroom door, the scorch mark under the wallpaper in the hallway. It spoke with the familiarity of something that had lived there far longer than I had. Then it began telling me things about myself, things I had forgotten. A scar on my side from a childhood fall, the exact year my voice changed, the lullaby my grandmother hummed on storm nights. It repeated that melody perfectly, even the wavering note she always missed. I hadn't heard it in 20 years, yet the radio carried it like a memory it had personally collected. After that, the instructions started, soft at first. Stand at the hallway at 2. Don't breathe when the floor sighs. Listen when the house stutters. I ignored them until the night the kitchen clock froze mid-tick. The second hand trembled, slipped backward, then hung motionless. The air pressed in on me, thick and slow. From the radio came a whisper. It's time to remember. I climbed to the attic. The radio was already there, though I had left it downstairs. It sat on an old trunk, dial glowing softly like an eye adjusting to the dark. The attic felt smaller than before, as if the shadows had crept inward to listen. The moment I stepped inside, the radio began to hum a low, hungry note. A whisper crawled into my head, not from the speaker, but from behind my thoughts. It showed me flashes, a burned photograph, a child's shadow on a wooden floor, a face missing from a family portrait. I felt my own memories rearranging themselves, making room for something older, heavier. I asked what it wanted. Its answer came through the static, layered with 1,000 faint voices. I am everything the wires kept. I am what lingers when the living forget. Then gently, almost kindly, it told me to put my ear against the speaker. I knew I shouldn't. I did anyway. The static wasn't noise, it was movement. It crawled into me, filling my mouth, nose, and thoughts. The voice spoke through me, testing the shape of my breath. It whispered a long, broken name I had never heard. then commanded me to repeat it. When I did, the attic seemed to expand, like the house had been holding that single moment for decades. When I woke the next morning, I was at the bottom of the attic ladder, with dust in my hair and the radio beside me, silent. For a week, it stayed quiet. I convinced myself it had ended. Then my phone rang. When I answered, there was only breathing, slow, careful, deliberate. Not human breathing. It sounded like someone learning how to inhale. After a few seconds, the caller whispered the attic name, the one it made me speak. I threw the radio away that night, but the static didn't stop. It leaked into the refrigerator hum, the heater vent, the space between passing cars, the silence under my own heartbeat. The voice had left the radio behind. It didn't need it anymore. Now, sometimes, when the house shifts in its sleep, I hear that old melody again, the lullaby my grandmother used to hum. Only now, there's another harmony behind it. Something colder, patient, waiting. If you ever hear a voice inside static calling your name, don't answer. Names are invitations, and once something accepts, it never leaves.